All right, so after my mountain bike trail on the Slick Rock yesterday, I came down to the southern portion of Canyonlands National Parks. There's a northern district and a southern district. The northern is in the Island of the Sky, which I did a couple days ago. And the southern is called the Needles District because they have a lot of rock formations that look like needles. And it's less crowded in the Needles District. There's also a lot of four-wheel drive trails. One of the four-wheel drive trails leads to the confluence of the Green River and the Colorado River, but it looked a little too difficult than what I was trying to do with my Montero. So I came to an overlook of the Colorado River, just the Colorado River instead, on a four-wheel drive trail. It was also a pretty challenging trail as well, and so I parked about 6 miles south of the overlook and hiked the rest of the way. So here is the overlook in the Needles District of the Colorado River. Look, you can see some, I think it looks like a paddleboarder right way down there, and a mini raft, people going along, chugging along down the Colorado River all the way through the canyon, and it disappears. The confluence of the Green River is just south of here, a little further along. So this is actually the Island of the Sky area where I have some views from a couple days ago. The ridge on the right, that is right out to that ridge is where I had my views at the Island of the Sky, and that huge thing in the middle now, the ridge on the left, that was blocking the confluence of the between the two rivers. So yeah, just another really cool view of the Colorado River and Canyonlands. They have a lot of cool stuff like this. You can also see way down there, there's a tiny little boat right by that little green island. Here's a little preview of the off-road trail. That was the final hill that I saw. I'm like, I'm gonna walk the rest of the way. And right as I was backing into my spot right here, my skid plate came off. It wasn't attached very well to begin with, but fortunately I've got my handy little zip ties and I should be able to just get it back up in place. It was actually just held in place by zip ties to begin with. All right, so here are the needles of the Needles District and Canyonlands. They're these tall spires that kind of look very similar to hoodoos. And I was just reading about them here, and it was saying that unlike the hoodoos, which were formed by ice that fractured off the rock, these were formed by layers of salt that were buried about 1,000 feet in the earth, and something about how the crushing weight of overlying rock caused the salt to flow and then eventually created a grid-like pattern, and then over time, erosion exposed what we see now as these needles here. And here's just a quick panorama of Canyonlands around. You can just see, really does just feel like lands of canyons everywhere, as far as the eye can see, and really in every direction. Check out these little figure formations with the circular rocks on top. Pretty neat. All right, so the end of that little road, we have the Elephant Hill Road, which is, you have to get actually a permit to do this four-wheel drive road. I was talking to the ranger and she said it's one of the most technically difficult four-wheel drive roads in Utah. So this is the road I need to get to Chesler Park in order to really see the needles, or I could also to see the confluence of the Green and the Colorado River. So I ended up deciding not to take this road. Maybe next time. I could also hike there, but it'd be a long hike and Bo wouldn't be allowed to come. So, but yeah, pretty would have been cool. And one more look inside Canyonlands from Elephant Hill Road. At the end of the paved road in Canyonlands, we have a nice little view into the canyon here with more epic stuff in the distance. People down there. There's so much greenery down there, it must get a good bit of rainfall that comes through this area. Got some pretty big trees, pretty contrasted to what's mostly out here. It's very small shrubbery, not a lot of greenery out here. It's very dry in the desert. All right, so I'm leaving Canyonlands, but I wanted to do one more quick panorama of the Needles District in the canyons, and it's just really cool driving around and looking at all, being in the midst of it. Check out all these petroglyphs. There is a ton of them in here. This is the Newspaper Rock petroglyph station, not far outside of the Canyonlands Needles District. And it's got a ton of stuff just all jumbled in here. Looks like little horned demons with like stuff in their hands pointing down, people riding horses, horses with really long hair, a lot of handprints, just a ton of stuff. Pretty cool. Wonder what they were thinking when they made all this. All the way around. Don't know how old it is. Yeah! All right. So as you can see, I made it to the Delicate Arch, and very nice couple just proposed. Very long line here, about 1.5 miles up, and this is that famous arch everyone's seen pictures of. It's on the Utah license plate. And there's a cool little canyon in here, and yeah, it's very neat. It looks like on the left side it's just barely hanging on. The whole thing is a pretty cool arch, just kind of standing by itself out here. Little canyon walls behind me, but pretty neat. Cool little arch on the way to the Delicate Arch right here, just in the wall. So I'm currently at the Colorado National Monument, and it's this awesome mountain hill above Grand Junction and Frita. This is the Independence Monument view right here. You can see Grand Junction and Frita in the distance and more mountains beyond that. It's a really cool drive, recommended to me by multiple people to make sure I come here to the Colorado National Park. Here's another view of Colorado National Monument, called the Grand View. You can just see all the way around. What do you think, Bo? Bo's having a ton of fun. He is loving this trip, having a great time. He could, when we drive in the car, he just sticks his head out the window and gets cool. He loves driving the car, loves hiking around, so this is his dream. Seeing some awesome stuff. Driving through Grand Mesa National Forest, just beautiful. All these lakes up top of this plateau overlooking Grand Junction and Lower Colorado, and these gorgeous trees. And I now made it to my campsite right outside of the Gunnison National Forest near Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. And check out this view. It's hard to tell, but it's just really pretty out here with mountains in the background and just these rolling green hills. Sun's just now setting. Bo's chilling out after doing a little exploring out here, and really pretty. Looking forward to Black Canyon of the Gunnison tomorrow. Here, just a little preview, post view of my dinner. Had some incredible ribeye steak and asparagus. This beats a $50 meal I'd pay in a restaurant. What's up, Bo? That was good dinner, huh?